Welcome. This is the Reflection Readings, December 2023. And I want to take a moment with you guys. 2023 was a challenging year for us. Every month brought a new challenge. But make no mistake, each of these challenges taught you something, forced you to grow. Yeah, there's this incremental, and this is the beauty of this cosmic energy that surrounds and permeates us. Yeah, there is a higher power that works through us. So everything that we had to conquer this year, yeah, was a lesson. In the beginning of 2023, I announced, as so many others, that this will be a year of extraordinary transformation. No longer somewhere out there, but actually happening, guys. And it is happening at such a fast pace right now. Yeah, last month I warned you. I said this is like a magic wand. Yeah, you are here. You are a conscious being. You are aware of your soul self, and you have all the tools that you need to co-create. And yet you have so little awareness. Even if your mind, your intellect understands it, it isn't until you reach the cosmic intelligence to recognize, yeah, all these powers that are working through you. And this is our life's journey, really, if you will. So each of these months, have brought you basically the tool that you need for the next 2 years for sure, but really the next 14, 15 years. So for those of you who are at my age, this is what your entire life was for. So in the course of this month, December, I want you to remember this. I want you to maybe do a few meditation sessions to just consciously review and reflect of the lesson of each month. What have you learned? Because all these little tools that you've gained in the process of facing things, mostly, not really yet resolving them, but facing them, have changed you, have evolved you. You are no longer the same person that you were last year around this time. So this new energy, this renewal energy that is coming in here in December, I christen it cosmic love, for many reasons. I want you to see this energy alignment in context with the energy alignment Cosmic Heart from August, Cosmic Intelligence from October, and finally the Cosmic Love alignment for December. This is important. There's a trilogy, and in between, we had the Gaia love that so many of you embraced. Go back and use all these alignments starting with August this year. They more or less all belong together, but this particular trilogy here, Cosmic Heart, Cosmic Intelligence, and Cosmic Love, is the key for all that is to come. So I don't know if you're aware of this, but Christmas, the feeling of Christmas, calibrates at 5:35. 5:35. Do you know how high that is in, spiritual terms? That's really high. So it's the reason, why everybody loves Christmas, because it creates this environment of gratitude, of giving, of loving, of wanting to be together, of uniting, of, working on something, creating something together, and creating sort of a safe space along with this. Can you guys all follow me? Yeah, Christmas as an energetic resonance without the spiritual or religious meaning that it has. Just the Christmas time, really. A nicely decorated, cozy, maybe with augmented with a bunch of candles, decorated home, can provide the energetic resonance or the energetic condition of healing, of abundance, and lovingness. So with that, okay, I want you guys to just be aware, that Christmas is something that has a profound effect on us. And it's no coincidence that the energies that are coming in here for December, that they sounded like cosmic love to me. Now, why didn't I call it divine love? You've heard me talk about divine love and true love all the time. No, cosmic love is a higher form of true love. It's basically sort of the higher power, or the, out of this realm. It is not connected to this physical realm. It is not connected to any kind of love that we could know. Now, not that it's above our pay grade, it's just sort of showing us that there is even more. It is that kind of love, Cindy, that you said, that permeates consciousness itself. In one of the recent energy talks, I think from the study group that was, I called it the stuff we're made of. In the most literal sense, here from an ex-chemist. Smaller yet more powerful than our atoms that we are composed of. Cosmic love. With you I share the angelic course of earthly pain and love. That's the music that this creates, in that higher realm. Think of it this way. Think of it as a transmission that you, that me, each and every one of us do constantly into that higher realm, the higher dimension, if you will, of ourselves. And it creates music. And I said something about that a while back when I said that darkness is fundamentally ugliness. If you are familiar with the work of Dr. Vasuri Emoto, who did the water crystal research, then you can maybe have a better understanding of what I'm talking about. There are harmonics in this universe, in the cosmos, that we cannot understand with our humanly brains, but that our cosmic heart and our cosmic intelligence can understand. So we first needed to refine, to remember, maybe being introduced to a cosmic heart. And then we needed to remember to get the impulse for the cosmic intelligence. Yeah, with the unified self, we practice that as, well, if you will, the alpha and the omega. Yeah, the tuning in with the divine father and mother in us, because those are the symbols for, the split, yeah, the sacrifice that has to take place when we materialize. So by reuniting this, yeah, and going from dualism to the triune, yeah, mending of it, yeah, bringing it back together with the third option, with the cosmic child, the cosmic creation, we are in fact evolving our soul. And I can only lead you as far as that. That is the next level of our experience of our being. That's very hard to imagine because we are so stuck in the materialism of this world. And it took, 4 billion years to get that far. It's not going to take another 4 billion years to fully etherize ourselves again. Yeah. So before we materialized, we were just ether. And there's stages before that and stages before that. Yeah. But the journey that we are on right now, as we have become aware of our cosmic heart and our cosmic intelligence, yeah, our conscious feeling and our conscious thinking, is to spiritualize ourselves, our entire being. Yes, all the way to us no longer being physical. Yeah, this is hard to wrap our minds around, so don't even try this. Yeah, that's basically your future. And all your pain and love, yeah, symbolically, that you experience in your lifetime, that you hold on to, that you dwell on, that you become aware of, that you make conscious, yeah, that you engage with consciously, intentively, willingly, sends, this kind of download into or to your higher self, to the next evolutionary stage. Which means, seen from this broader perspective, you're going to have to deal with that again at some point on your journey. Maybe not in this lifetime, maybe not in another lifetime, maybe in, spiritual high school. Okay? When all these fragments and residues from your disharmonic experiences, need to be harmonized again, need to be worked out again. So this, you can see in the way I talk, it's much different from how I talked last month. Also, December has a whole different quality to it. It's a whole different animal. It will feel like diving deep into the deep ocean of emotions with a new understanding of your true heart's desire, showing you who and what you truly are. This is a whole new deal now. You are no longer the same you as you were at the beginning of the year. Oh, that's logical. That's something our ego can somewhat subscribe to. But you have also become, that's not, but is not actually the real word, the good word for this. Yeah, let me correct myself here. And you are much more aware of who and what you truly are. So your true heart's desire is the missing puzzle piece. Yeah, if any of you is wondering about this, this is not some kind of woo-woo mystical thing. This is something that already lives in your cosmic heart, that can already be felt in there. It can be grasped by your cosmic intelligence, yeah, in form of inner guidance and, trusting in that which comes forward through, that higher self or higher expression of yourself, or perhaps for some of you, even through this angelic course. Yeah? So I'm referring to the harmonics of life. And when you feel that things are in a flow, that things are just so easy to navigate for you, and you get to do this in a way that you didn't even know you could, that tells you that that angelic course is probably very harmonic at that moment. And whenever you go into disharmony with it, then you get presented with more, or a lot of times, a new variation of the same problem. The same occurs when you raise your consciousness and you actually begin to see the world with new eyes. You begin to reframe things. You will begin to form a new perspective on life, love, and all there is, yeah, including God. Yeah, all that changes, and with that, you grow. It is also something that you can take with into your next lifetime. So these treasures, these heavenly treasures, yeah, these things that you can form for your higher self, that you can give to your higher self, all right, are not anything that you give away. It is something that is felt or perceived simultaneously. What I am talking about is the transdimensional nature that we as spirit beings have. And my translation, my rendering of this is, by uniting my heart with the solar logos, this has to do with the evolutionary lifeline, if you will, that we are linked to. We're linked to the sun, yeah, here in this solar system, on this planet, as the life-giving, the light and the warmth, giving life force to everything. That's what that means. Initiating my soul to understand my own power, to choose love in all that I see, touch, express, and or conceive, without trying to control or outshine it. Now, this reminds me of the Course of Miracles and the lesson that we were dealing with today and yesterday. So those of you who are part of the Course of Miracles, yeah, lesson 60 and 61. Basically the same thing. Now that I'm interpreting this here for you, this is coming to my awareness. So here, another translation of the same. Cosmic love is the strongest and most sacred desire in a conscious human. And it's expressed, and this is a higher form of a higher spiritual hierarchy, if you will, in the love for truth. Does anybody here have a reference feeling for the love for truth, and maybe an example that you can share with us? Use it as your inner compass. It will always guide you to embody your higher self. Always. So the reference feeling for something that feels like the love for truth. And it's encoded in many of the previous energy alignments where I talk about, to loving your soul more than your ego. So with a higher consciousness, you understand the profound truth in that. That it is necessary for us to allow ourselves to go through the dark night of the soul. So the love for truth, guys, that's the impulse that comes out of a higher spiritual hierarchy than we are operating with, or than what we can operate with. So the word angelic, when I use the word angelic, I talked about Archangel Michael, I talked about some of these spiritual intelligences, that come to our aid. But the truth is that there's much more than what we call angelic. There's more behind that. Those are just the spirit beings that are the closest to us, because in their evolutionary process, they have just recently, and in that spiritual realm, recently means maybe 100,000 years ago or something like that, gone through the human experience. They can still relate to our human experience. So we feel most linked to angelic beings in our spiritual vision, because it is those beings that can still remember, that can still have that compassion for our struggles. Now, when we are evolving into angelic beings, and basically fulfill our purpose of that level of experience, of that level of consciousness growth, we support those who go through the human experience, because we are, well, like mentors. Angels are like mentors. But there's much more beyond just the angelic realm. It's just the easiest to talk about, spirit beings, in that form, because that is how far it goes for most people. But the love for truth, guys, just so you understand, and also the cosmic love that I am referring to here as the impulse that is coming in for December, is a higher level of consciousness, a higher hierarchy in the spirit realm. It's bigger than angelic love. If you use this as your inner compass, it will always guide you to empower your higher self. Always. Even the experience of the dark night of the soul. So here you can tell. So the inner themes, not collective themes, but the themes that we experience on our personal journey are very spiritual in December. And that is usually the case in December, due to all the celestial phenomena, as I described this in the forecast. Yeah, all the things that are going on in the cosmos, and there's a lot going on right now in the cosmos, but at this, as of like the middle of August, it shifts into a much higher realm, so it doesn't really affect us anymore in that sort of disharmonic material way anymore as it has in like July, August, really, really, really heavy months. This is now a higher level of communication, and hence also the hint here toward the clear audience, the hearing, the spiritual hearing, the listening. Yeah? So compass is not really anything visual. The compass is what you use when you have no vision. Now, when there's fog or when there's night, when it's dark out. Talking about karmic corrections here, time capsule. All right, so what is the process that is coming to a closure here in December? It's a process that started in beginning of 2005. So for everybody listening here, 2005, is where a process started in you, yeah, that is now basically complete. And if you're experiencing, things, Jared, that you're experiencing, that feel very spiritual in its nature, then it's basically the last hurrah of it, something that just came. I mean, I don't know how some of your experiences that you've shared, how they connect here time-wise, okay? But there is a link for all of us here to the time of early 2005. And that is now coming to a closure, literally, at the end of December. And this is also where the renewal aspect comes in, because there's a new start. So sometimes that also helps to put things into context. Okay, here just a reminder: all sicknesses of the human soul, which is spiritual problems, are essentially the pain of not trusting in the love the divine self has for us. Just as a reminder, I'll repeat that as many times as I can, because it's the key. Main focus of what we need to prioritize and what we need to basically see as part of the task that we need to fulfill in December is inner work. Each and every one of us in our ways, yeah, because we all have different themes, karmically or based on our level of consciousness. Yeah, so it comes into different expressions. For some of us, it has to do with harmonizing our mind, our rational, logical mind, and the training and conditioning that we've experienced there throughout our lives. For others, is the harmonizing of the heart, away from the sentimental heart that tunes us into, the sort of lower level sympathy and antipathy, the judgmentalism, and like navigating through the world by what our ego likes and dislikes. Yeah. And the challenges is, consciously building this bridge between the spiritual and the material, making this a conscious act. How do we do that? Well, by consciously applying all these spiritual tools that we have gathered and that we have learned. They need to be applied now. the main opportunity here, just to summarize it, these December energies, is learning the mechanisms, yeah, of conscious or consciously manifesting our true heart's desire, understanding the link, yeah, between what's true in our hearts and the ability to materialize. Yeah? So this is not the same as law of attraction, and if you just think it or will it hard enough, you're going to get it. That is an ego version, a deception, yeah, of a very profound spiritual truth, which is, you become that which you hold in mind, which you hold. Yeah, you do well what you dwell on. Yeah, that's saying contains a very important spiritual truth. Yeah, namely, what you align yourself to is then fundamentally what manifests in your life. And the opportunity here for those of us who have been working, spiritually, and who have done parts of this inner work already, is to turn this into a more conscious process, so that we can, let go of externalizing fears, mistakes, failures, and so forth, and fully own up to them, with ourselves, and say, I understand why I manifested this, because that's what I aligned myself to. And there's an immediacy to it, because as collective energies are speeding up, all these mechanics, they go faster. Just like how computers allow us to browse a multitude of information in less time, as compared to like having to read a book. Yeah, so you got to be careful with what you align yourself to, with what you wish for. Now, if you understand the basics of how this works, and how, when you tune yourself into something and it aligns with your true heart's desire, then you will begin to learn, how you can materialize it and ride those waves. Yeah, these manifestation waves that come in, just through, these higher spiritual, these cosmic forces. Yeah, like these weather conditions are sometimes more conducive to conscious manifestation, and sometimes they're less conducive. And December is a very conducive month for conscious manifestation. In other words, you might want to get your vision boards out and review them and refine them, because that's where, this aligning, already begins to take place. Yeah, by you visualizing it, and then the next step is to fully tune into it with your feelings. What will that feel like when I have materialized, when I have manifested that in my life? And then you use that as your inner compass, because that allows you then to realize when something does not align to your true heart's desire. And here, look at the slide here real quick, how these energies are most likely going to affect our chakras. You see here on physical level, releasing of subconscious beliefs. Then on an emotional level, jealousy, envy, injustice. So that links to victimization. And, the interesting part here about the third and the fourth chakra is, the initiation of true love, which is the true heart. Yeah. Which is then the foundation for intimacy and true connection and so forth.
Yeah.
It also comes with an activation of our personal role, and purpose. So this it does make us look at our relationships. Yeah, so it's important that we double check on that, on all the different relationships that we have and how they serve us, not like in a selfish way, but how they karmically serve us, and what the role is that we want to assume for the future. Yeah, so the task for December is authentic spiritual self-expression. Self-expression.
Yeah.
So as for important dates or things that, I pick out here sort of as noteworthy for December, you see a lot of different dates here, but overall, I want to say that it's less, I don't want to say busy because it's still going to be busy, that's seasonal, but less chaotic, if you will, than it was in the last 2 months. But that's not so much because there's less that is occurring, but it is the way we have learned to adjust to changes, which can also bring the danger of normalizing certain things, always seeking sort of for the next drama. We're going to have to tame that. Yeah, it's more here that there's some big sort of cosmic things that are going on in December, which, as I explained earlier, signifies sort of processes that happen in a higher spiritual hierarchy that then find their expression here in the physical. So this revealing of truth that is weaving through our collectors for the last 3-4 years is continuing, but has so there's an end, a completion of a cycle, which I signified here with the profound truths revealed. Okay, so we've had all these revelations in our societies about this and that, organizations, authorities, powers, to be shadow figure, shadow powers. All this is now really coming to a head in a way that even, people that were just sort of blindly trusting in all of this are starting to wake up. And when it comes to like some of these profound truths, such as what was really going on during the pandemic, who are really the people behind this, and what the purpose of it all, or the agenda of it all is, that's a tough pill to swallow for a lot of people, because it was such a big thing, what was going on during the pandemic, and how the misuse of truth, the confrontation with untruth, as I called it at the time, really opened up a complete new perspective on things. And when I say tough pill to swallow, what I mean with that is really hard to accept that reality, which is why, even though for people like myself and so many other people, the truth was quite obvious, it's no surprise. So I'm asking myself, well, why is this taking so long? Because so obvious. But we have to understand that when it comes to like these bigger sort of collective shifts and changes in perspectives, that there's always a little bit of a delay. But this is now something that we will have to deal with as a society. We all have to deal with the ramifications of the pandemic, what was going on with the mandates and so forth, and also with the vaccines, like how they were misused, perhaps, and also how these fears that led to the abuse of our idea of what a vaccine is, how that has, basically manipulated a lot of people into doing things that they would normally not have done. And that has to be processed. That's a collective healing process that we all need to go through, and this starts here in December. And what it will do, as opposed to the last 4 years where it polarized our societies, it will actually bring us closer together. So there's a silver lining in all of this. This cosmic love that is activating our true heart's desires coming in right early here in the beginning of December. There's some very beautiful days that we can use to reflect and review, and where we might feel invited to really open ourselves up for new priorities, yeah, and really, sort of be honest with ourselves, yeah. If the deeper connection that we are looking for, or that we're longing for, if we're actually even willing to give that, if we even have the willingness to be vulnerable enough, yeah, to enter into deeper connections with people. This is something that our ego resists. Yeah, so we always have to keep an eye on that, because our ego tends to externalize, why or how we can connect with others or not. And then around the new moon phase, oops, that's the wrong date here, that's the 12th of December. We're dealing with, this task that we have been talking about here to really look into the spiritual or energetic conditions that we are in. So there's a strong spiritual impulse that is coming in around the 12th, 13th of December that will trigger, this sort of societal collective awakening. Yeah, we have basically been preparing for this all year, yeah, to really go into the active phase of this collective healing process, and that is now approaching. So there's a completion of a previous cycle and beginning of a new cycle, yeah, that has to do with healing, and this will give us all an opportunity to go more inward and investigate things from our new sort of level of consciousness that we have gradually built over the course of 2023. So it's important that we allow ourselves, these insights, yeah, that comes through our inner knowing, yeah, and form, this inner compass here that I have been mentioning, that allows us to navigate the pitfalls and the clouds of our ego justifications and narratives. Yeah, so here this got a little mixed up here, but uh, again here these new moon energies, they clearly show us, sort of what the internal truth is. Yeah, it has to do with our connection with our true self. And here we will see something on the outside, which I've put in parentheses here. Yeah, this war, that is looming sort of in all different areas of our societies, not just the military war, but also the bank war and the media war and the health war and the alien war and all these things that are being sort of slaughtered, yeah, in our media, in all the information that is sort of shoved down our throats. Okay, this warlike, depiction of our current state of societies. That will bring forward something that has to do with payoff. So who benefits, yeah, from victimization? Who benefits from injustice? Who and how can, you know, our proclivity to, you know, the underdog and, you know, trying to look good by helping others, how can that be misused? Yeah, by basically, you know, making the victim right and the aggressor wrong without a deeper investigation of the subject matter. Then, as we're nearing, you know, sort of the middle of the month, this activation of renewal, yeah, that wants to come in, is starting to get a foothold in us, and it's a good time, you know, after the new moon or around the new moon, to work on our plans and visions for the future, going back to our vision boards and reviewing them, refining them. Yeah, so December in a nutshell has a lot of sort of refinement to it. Yeah, it's an ennoblement from a spiritual perspective. Yeah, the alchemical process of raising the vibration, yeah, ennobling something is a word that I really like. And then sort of in that sort of pre-solstice energy, yeah, working up to it, we're seeing something that I called cosmic awakening. Sounds a little dramatic, but really what I'm trying to express with that is that through the confrontation with untruth, yes, through having to face all the lies and deception, we will, as a whole collective, yeah, be forced to see truth, even if we didn't want it or didn't like it. Yeah, so even if our ego barriers or blinders have not allowed us to see some of these things that some people are bringing in as whistleblowers or conspiracy theorists. So a lot of that is based on truth. Just the sort of fear-based aspect of it, we need to be careful with. Yeah, that's always tricky with conspiracy theories. But you know, technically spoken, as soon as there's proof, it's no longer a conspiracy. Okay, conspiracy is characterized by sort of this coming together of multiple people with a different agenda than proclaimed. Okay, so with the conspiracy is always you know, sort of a secrecy and sort of behind the visible involved, and that's why I don't like talking about conspiracy, because most of these things that are untrue that we have to learn to discern now, they're already clear, they're already proven, there's no question about it anymore. There's only the resistance in the society to accept them as a truth. And that is what I mean with cosmic awakening. It's a force that comes in that ultimately allows our societies to harmonize what what was polarized before, where we all come together and realize, hey, wait a minute, that's not what we signed up for. Yeah, so there's something that will bring us closer together, which also links into this global healing that I mentioned. The winter solstice always, every year, is a very deep and sacred time. Interesting part about this solstice is that it is really a sacred new timeline. So there really is something with that cosmic awakening, yeah, with that sort of cosmic level of energies, which is a higher spiritual hierarchy that is played out through us here in the material. So I would suggest that you use the time around the winter solstice to take some time to meditate and to really work with this, maybe in stillness, stare in a candle, watch, sort of the top layers of reality dissolve, and ask yourself how you can, raise your vibration, how you can add, more aesthetics or more lovingness or more kindness into your reality. Yeah, basically step into the responsibility, the self-responsibility of, changing the energy through changing your energy. So then around Christmas time or leading up to Christmas, interestingly, this year doesn't seem to be the emphasis doesn't seem to be on the physical part or the material part. It's more like an ennoblement of our soul self. So an ennoblement of our soul self occurs when we step into a higher vibratory resonance, such as, forgiveness, for example, compassion, understanding, and certain levels of selflessness. So there's something beautiful that is developing here, entering into the last week of December, but not without resistance. So I see here around the 25th to the 27th or 8th, a real strong collision. And yes, it looks like like something like a religious war, beliefs or faiths versus power. It's just a more modern version of, the Crusades, if you will. And then, we're going to have to look at how this is being played out, because that's not just with yourself, but also on a collective level, always the outer expression. And here we see that we are steering into war based on retaliation, based on vengeance, which is a very low vibratory state that does not bode well. Yeah, it does not bode well to enter such a war, but it's most likely going to happen. And then the last 2 days in December allow us, to close out some of these things that we have been resisting, and perhaps in a forced way. So if you live in areas where there's floods or, frequent outages, maybe earthquakes, volcanic areas on the planet, we're going to see some big things happening there. Yeah. So here again, we have something like war playing out more on a nature level, which is also, another dimension basically of our human collective evolution. And then ending, and this is why I called this surgical with surgical precision in the forecast. Yeah. So if you haven't read the forecast, go to my website. It goes along with the forecast video. I talk about, sort of this conscious manifestation window and how it's important for us to really tune into new horizons and a new vision. So December 31st, guys, yeah, is a good time for New Year's resolutions. But this time, perhaps in a more, under the, pertaining, feasibility and so forth. So you can't just, make this list with ideals and things that you wish. Yeah, this isn't a letter to Santa. Yeah, your vision board or your New Year's resolutions. Those are things that you commit to, that you agree to, you subscribe to this. You really should only subscribe to things that you are actually willing to do. Yeah. And again, here, the energy management, yeah, being able to discern which energies are good for you, which are conducive for you, is quite important actually, because without that, we have a tendency to just go back into old patterns. My self-healing tips for December have to do with, on one hand, allowing that spiritual cosmic energy to come in and slow down and actually commune with it. Tune into these cosmic energies. Maybe if you live in a place where that's possible, do as many walk and talks with nature itself, with the spirit being, that the planet Earth is represented by, we call it Gaia, but also maybe commune with the stars, look at the stars, look at the sky at night and focus on this a little bit and watch some stars dissolve and some coming into light. So that's a beautiful way of tuning in more. Master your energetic conditions, is something that we here at transCODES have started working on in our first workshop out of 3. The mastery of our energetic conditions has a lot to do with, of course, self-awareness and some education to go along with it, but also the willingness to constantly inventory it. You have to be willing to look at things the way they are. Self-honesty is absolute key for mastering or navigating through December energies all the way into February. Stop hiding, call out truth, okay? This is all related to the empowerment here that came in November. Know what you want and be willing to call out things that work against it or that are not true for you, or that do not provide positive environment, conducive conditions for what it is that you want to manifest. We will have to investigate our unconscious beliefs and drives, because that's really the major pitfall for all of us, is all our trauma and unprocessed wounds and so forth from the past, because right there, is where our triggers and also our payoffs lie. So the payoff, out of doing something, even though it's not good for you, is always there. There always is a beneficiary in you, okay, by pursuing things such as, victimhood or externalizing your powers and things like that. So don't underestimate this. You need to become more aware of it. Our Sacred Self-Healing course is really good with this. And the main reason why you want to do this is because we're looking at a very beautiful, fortuitous time here at toward the end of December that allows us to manifest our true heart's desire. So those are all these impulses that are coming in through these cosmic love energies. It sounds a bit cheesy when you say it this way, but it was important for me to make a point of separating it from true love, for example, because it's a higher pay grade, it's a higher vibratory level on which that is operating. A few tips here to the physical, things that you may experience in December relating to your teeth. So there is a connection to the pain of the past and your teeth that needs to be uncovered. Those of you who have a tendency to have mobility issues, you're going to find that December can be a bit challenging there. So just a quick tip here from an ex-marathon runner that has used the wrong shoes for a while. You have to keep your knees and your joints in motion. You have to keep using them. So if you have knee issues, if you have hip issues, okay, you really need to work with, you know, well, basically the fascia, the tissue that can build a bridge between, you know, the bones, the joints, and the muscles. One thing that we will all feel here is a certain level of tiredness. I explained it earlier, that when we enter or when we get pulled into the spiritual realms, you know, when we do this inner work and we begin to tune into, you know, these spiritual energies, we need to make sure that we stay grounded, that we have good food, good water, and physical exercise. A weak spot here for all of us is our lymphatic system in December. So I mentioned this in November already. This is something, you know, that you could most easily work on, you know, by going to a sauna or steam room and then doing a cold shower afterwards. You can, of course, also do this while taking a regular shower, you know, and kickstart, you know, your lymphatic system, which is basically the plumbing for all the residues and contaminants of your metabolism. It's the mechanism that flushes out, you know, everything that's not supposed to be there. So this can also really help with clearing your energies. 'Cause sometimes we don't actually have to bring anything new into our life. We just need to be willing to let go of the old. One aspect here that stuck out for me is issues with reproductive organs. So this can be a little bit challenging if you know, you haven't really tuned into this yet. Yeah, how your belly button and, you know, sort of your secondary reproductive organs, how they can express sort of a schism within or a lack of balance. This lack of balance can feel like the masculine, feminine, yeah, the doingness versus the beingness, etc. And this can affect your reproductive organs. Yeah, so keep an eye on this. Yeah, and maybe talk to your medical professional if there's some kind of routine exercise or something, a routine test that you want to do just to exclude a few things, etc. Yeah, so overall, we're looking at a month that is all about energetic self-mastery, and it's the reason why you know, I placed the energy course, which is a 6-week energy awareness training course, all the way to mastering or navigating etheric energies. So it goes deep into the mysticism on one hand, but also the practical aspects of connecting with the greater power that is out there. Here, as a Thanksgiving gift to all of you loyal audience, I've put 2 coupons into my shop, 50% if you intend to participate in the energy training course, or 50% of our energy training club fees. That's sort of a 30-day pass to participate in all the workshops and talks and energy sessions, etc. So take advantage of that. They expire on the 12th of December. And other than that, again, we will have our Connect with Your True Self free energy healing and training session for you. This is the 12th year that I am doing this. So you can see there's an ongoing need, even if you've been to Connect with Your True Self sessions, consider, you know, communing with your true self and cultivating that relationship. All right. this is it for the energy forecast. Thank you very much for coming. You will now be able to listen to the energy alignment here for a few minutes, 8 minutes or so. You can also go to my SoundCloud or my website. It's in the front. You just have to scroll down a little bit. Yeah, and all I can say is stay conscious. Yeah, use these manifestation energies here in December to, refine your vision for the future, what you truly want. Unleash your true heart's desire. Yeah, and allow yourself to enjoy the ride. Thank you so much for listening and participating.
Cosmic love to truth, love, and peace within. I dedicate myself, and the cosmic love that is contained in every creation, elements, spirit beings, and consciousness itself as the divine template for unconditional love. You permeate all things and thus feed and nurture all who choose to seek you. You feed my soul with the remembrance of the primal word, sharing with me divine life and light through all my experiences in this material world. In your warm embrace, you provide me with the strongest and most sacred power that drives me to seek freedom, truth, and love, to grow and evolve. With you I share the angelic chorus of earthly pain love, and thus learn to find my home and feel safe in my true self, knowing my journey by overcoming the fear of the unknown. You patiently watch my childlike seeking for external validation and sternly remind me of the power and responsibility of a consciously sensing, feeling and thinking through the higher self that I am. If I choose to follow your evolutionary process, you teach me how to receive and express love by uniting my heart with the Solar Logos, initiating my soul to understand my own power, to choose love in all that I see, touch, express, or conceive without trying to control or outshine you. Beloved cosmic love, you are the universe's pulsing heart, encoded in every land, being, and time, evolving to help me grow into you. With the reverence so deep, I recognize you as the essence that nurtures the light of the world. In every sacred moment that I remember you, our souls' karma entwine, and we become one as the one true united heart. What can I do to show my love to you? I must remember to ask. So that you can guide me on my journey with the assurance I still need sometimes. As I am learning to navigate change within, through, and around me, you remind me right now that I am here for a reason my ego mind cannot know, but my heart and soul try to show. Answer, my love. I can feel it now. I can feel what my soul needs that I am not giving. It needs me to think and live its divine love to unite in our cosmic heart. Yes, I can see through this illusion of my ego sphere. See how it misleads me to punishing myself and others by withholding love, the very love my soul and heart seek to unite with you. Now I know that I am one with you, the unchanging, eternal, and infinite I am that I am. You help me to remember who I truly am. Thank you. Because with you as my spiritual compass, you constantly purify and nourish me with the courage and the wisdom to willingly walk into the deepest abyss of my inner fear. And consciously reunite what was separated. Cosmic love, you give me the strength to see through all illusions infused through collective pain and suffering, and help me embrace change as the evolutionary path of my being to grow and unfold my highest potential and purpose beyond this life. Through your power in my one true heart, I herewith clear all attachments, limitations, conditioning, mind control, energetic ties and karmic binds in any dimension or time to any person, entity, or ego illusion. Nothing and no one can separate me from you. I trust in my ability to sense anything or anyone compromising the trust in myself to manifest my higher potential as you. Now that I can feel you in my sacred heart, I can truly rest, as all there is left to do is to live and create my life in the light of love and truth. Thank you.